Again, the Green Bay Packers are one of the top Super Bowl favorites heading into this season. Are they really that good? We're about to discuss it. You're watching the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Welcome to the MJ Take here on Sports Fan Entertainment. We are continuing our 32 teams in 32 days 2016 NFL season previews, and today MJ, and that is me, will be discussing the Green Bay Packers and their upcoming 2016 NFL season. And you heard in the intro, once again, the Green Bay Packers are Super Bowl really favorites. I mean, I think if you talk to experts out there, I mean, ESPN does this every year, and you list out everyone's Super Bowl prediction, I think the team you will see the most is the Green Bay Packers. And this is the result of having the best quarterback in the league. He's the best, Aaron Rodgers. Cam Newton had a great year. He had the best year last year, but he had the best year in a year where a lot of quarterbacks weren't very good. I mean, Cam Newton only threw for 38 touchdowns. There are years where quarterbacks threw for 50 only 1 and 2 years ago, okay? So one year, things were a little slow. Aaron Rodgers wasn't doing very good. Tom Brady was doing pretty good, but not great. Cam Newton was the best quarterback. Great. Aaron Rodgers is still the best quarterback in the NFL, and when you have the best quarterback in the NFL, to people, experts, fans, kids, little babies will pick you to win the Super Bowl. I'm not quite there yet. I really like your team. I think you're going to be really good this year, but I think there are some issues. We're about to get into it. We're going to get into your team, talk about your roster strengths, weaknesses. We're going to look at the schedule. I have some projected statistics down in the description box, some goodies down there in the description box for you, and we're going to give you a win-loss prediction. So with that said, the biggest strength on this football team is the quarterback. It is Aaron Rodgers. Little bit of a down year, sure. You can buy into that. I still think he's great. I think the wide receivers were pretty bad last year. I think the offensive line wasn't really in cohesion. I think this upcoming year he's going to show yet again that he is the best quarterback in the NFL. And when his team needed him to throw up perfect, I mean pinpoint perfect passes, including the 2 Hail Marys, one against Arizona, one against Detroit, he did it because he's Aaron Rodgers, and that's just how he do. Remember that Kansas City Chiefs game? Oh my God, he was dissecting the Kansas City Chiefs. The guy's still absolutely great. I mean, yeah, there were issues. It was a down year for him. I mean, but down for him is still higher than literally at least 28 other quarterbacks in the league at any given moment. I thought he was fantastic yet again, and he's the biggest strength on this football team. Another strength is their secondary. Their secondary is really starting to come together. Now, the cornerbacks, I think, are really good right now. You have Sam Shields one side. You have Quentin Rollins, the sophomore, on the other side, who really impressed me last year. You have Demarius Randall, who's a nice slug guy right now. And he can even go outside and cover a bit there. But my only problem with that is those are your only 3 guys. I really don't trust anyone behind those guys. None of the guys behind them really played any significant amount of snaps whatsoever. So if one of those 3 guys gets injured, I think you're a little bit of trouble. But hey, you have 3 cornerbacks. They're good. And then behind them, you have 2 good safeties and Clinton Dix. And he ain't no joke because, man, this guy can play football. Ever since he came into the league out of Alabama, he's been no disappointment whatsoever. And Morgan Burnett next to him, and Micah Hyde as a reserve, but he gets on the field as a reserve. I mean, there are 3 really good safeties to have. And I mean, come on, the secondary is another strength. And depending on how things can work out, the offensive line is another potential strength for this football team, as well as the wide receivers. But I say potential. I don't quite label it as a strength because both position groups could be great. They could be the best in the league, either one of them. I think the Green Bay Packers offensive line could be better than the Cowboys offensive line. It could be. I'm not saying it will be, but it could be. It just depends on, first of all, who's going to be the starting five, because that's a question right now. You have TJ Lang, who had a shoulder surgery in February. His timeline was 3 to 6 months, and he's still on the PUP list. Is he going to come back healthy to start the season? We're going to watch out for that. Center, right now, that's a little bit of a question mark. Corey Linsley and JC Treader, we're not sure who's going to win that battle. And Brian Bulaga, I expected him to be the best right tackle in the NFL last year, and he wasn't. He was still pretty good, but I expect more from Brian Bulaga. So hopefully he can step it up, but it has the potential to be great. And you drafted Jason Spriggs in the draft. He could come in and start for you at any one of those positions. So it has the potential to be. And the wide receivers also has the potential to be, but I can't label it as a strength. Jordy Nelson on the PUP, on the PUP list. He's another guy that needs to come back healthy. We'll see if he can come back healthy. Randall Cobb, self-admittedly, was not good last year. He'll tell you, and I'll tell you again, he wasn't very good last year. Behind him, I think Devontae Adams really disappointed last year. I was so disappointed in Devontae Adams, especially considering I drafted him in a fantasy football league of mine. I expected him to really step up in the absence of Jordy Nelson, and he didn't do enough to my liking, maybe to yours, but not to mine. And now I'm hearing he may even be in trouble to make the roster. Now, I think he will. He's just too valuable, a second-round pick from 2014. But, man, you got to step it up. You cannot come in playing the way he played last year. It's ridiculous. Jeff Janis and Jared Abbrederis are starting to really challenge his spot as a number 3 wide receiver. I think Jeff Janis may actually lock down that spot. Jared Abbrederis probably still being a 5th. You guys also have Trevor Davis, who you drafted, I believe, in the 6th or 7th round. So that's another guy out of UCLA that can help you out a bit. Didn't produce a lot at UCLA, but he caught the eye of mine and a lot of other scouts at the combine. The guy was really impressive, running routes, catching the football well, being smooth and productive at the combine. We see you, Trevor Davis, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers sees you, points at you as you scored a touchdown this season. Are there weaknesses? You're damn right. Inside linebackers right now, huge weakness for me. Sam Barrington didn't play a snap in the 2015 NFL season. Actually, maybe he played week 1. But anyway, he ended up being injured. He didn't play in most of the games. I know at least that. Ended up on IR, so can he come back healthy? And even when he was healthy, he really wasn't very good. So Sam Barrington, huge issue there. Jake Ryan, opposite of him, not a very good player right now. You drafted Blake Martinez in the 4th or 5th round out of Stanford. I like his starting potential, but he's a rookie right now. Is he really going to come in and be a really good player for you right off of the bat? I don't think so. You're moving Clay Matthews outside, and I get it, because that's where he flourishes, but just know you've left a huge gaping hole here at your inside linebacker position. But then at your outside linebacker position, okay, you have Clay Matthews. He should return to his old form. He should, assuming they don't catch him for the PEDs everyone knows he's been on since he came into the league. Everyone knows. Sorry, we know. All right, so anyway, Clay Matthews on one side, and then Datone Jones, who they're moving from the defensive end position to the outside linebacking position. And I hate this move. And I don't know why people are so optimistic about this move. This guy had 3 sacks last year. He's never been a pass rushing defensive lineman. Now we're saying, hey, if he just drops 20 to 25 pounds, then he'll be good. And I'm saying, no. Not only is he not a very good pass rusher, you're taking away his ability to really be a good run defender, which where I believe he flourishes right now. So I don't get that move at all. I don't think he's going to solidify himself at this spot. I think Kyler Fackrell out of Utah State, who you guys drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round, I think this is a guy that's going to step up and actually take his spot this season. So don't be surprised if that happens. And also, Julius Peppers, who will need to get snaps as well. I hate the move. Honestly, I really hate the move for Datone Jones. I think this signals the end of his career in Green Bay. I don't think he's going to be back in in Green Bay after this move. He will not flourish at the outside linebacker position. He will not. All right, so we move on to the offense. Yet again, the tight end position is pretty good. All right, Richard Rodgers, who I thought was pretty good last year, had the big Hail Mary against the Lions. Okay, great. You signed Jared Cook. Now, people are under the belief that he is a receiving tight end, that this guy is going to be a good receiving tight end for the Green Bay Packers. And I don't get this belief because, guys, he's not a very good and consistent catcher in the NFL. He's not. Who told you that? I don't know who told you that because he's not. He drops a lot of balls. He's been doing it since he was drafted in the league in 2010. He's not very young anymore. What is he now, 28, 29 years old. So, I mean, he's still, I guess, in the prime of his career, but he's never been a great pass catcher. I don't know who told you that. All he's really good at is just being big and being a guy who can run at that size. But he's not a very good natural pass catcher. He's a pretty good run blocker, though. He does use that big size and strength to his, to his mold, I guess, and he's able to move some guys, and he opened up some holes for Todd Gurley this year. Great, but I don't know who told you he was a great receiving tight end because he's not. All you see is, okay, if he can actually bring the ball in with these two bricks of hands, then he can do something with the football. But there are two bricks of hands here that you have to get past. So we'll see when it comes to Jared Cook. In your running back position, right now you're starting Eddie Lacy, who got fat over the winter. I mean, this guy was blowing up like a damn balloon. I mean, I can't believe Eddie Lacy in the poor conditioning he was in the middle and late season. Absolutely absurd and ridiculous to me. Thank God this guy got off of Popeyes. He lost some weight. But man, I mean, I'm so turned off by Eddie Lacy at this point. I think he's the Pillsbury Doughboy as far as I'm concerned. I think James Starks may take his job yet again. I don't know how you can rely upon Eddie Lacy. I mean, this guy was fat. I mean, this guy was a big boy. I mean, John Kuhn was getting a little scared thinking that he has someone running for his money because, man, Eddie Lacy was getting big. So we'll see if he can bounce back. Honestly, I'm not very optimistic, but if you are, I get it. Because he was really good in 2014 and 2013, but 2015 was a joke. All right, so there you go. We talked about every position. Now let's talk about the schedule. And this is why you're going, the record I have you going, your schedule is really, really, really good. And you know why? Because you get to face the AFC South. Now, everyone's talking about the AFC South. The AFC South is so improved. It's so good. They're going to be so... No, they're not. Someone's going to win the AFC South at 9-7 or maybe 10-6, maybe 10-6, and that's it. I mean, there are not two teams winning 10 games, okay? And to me, that's what you have to be. In order to be considered a good division, two teams need to win at least 10 games. That's not happening in the AFC South. Either the Colts or the Texans or maybe the Jags are going to win 10 games, and then that will be it. Everyone else will be pretty much 9-7, 8-8, 8-8, and the Titans will be 6-10, and that will be the AFC South, a very below average to average division who you get the privilege to face. So congratulations, but it doesn't stop there because you also get to face the NFC East, yet another below average division. Congratulations, in which the Washington Redskins are the best team, and hello, you beat them in the playoffs, in the second round of the playoffs last season. If you can beat them in the playoffs and you have a better team, you should be able to beat them in Washington. Yet again, you face them week 11 in Washington. I expect that to be a W. It better be a W. Be a W. So there you go. You get to face the NFC East and the AFC South, but it doesn't stop there because you, my lucky friend, finished second in the NFC North, which means you get the privilege of facing the second place teams in each division. So while the Vikings are facing the Cardinals and the Panthers, you, my friends, get to face the Falcons and the Seahawks. Now the Seahawks are tough. But hey, you finally beat the Seahawks last season. It's in Green Bay yet again. You should be able to beat them again. It'll be tough. It'll be rough, but you should be able to beat them yet again. So the schedule really turned out really nice for the Green Bay Packers. Now, there are some issues. Okay, you lost to Minnesota last year. This was in Green Bay, by the way. This was shocking to me. I thought Green Bay was going to win that game. But then I think the Bears are coming. And this is a nice little kept secret here, but man, John Fox, we already know he's a really good coach when it comes to getting teams to the playoffs. Now, he doesn't do much more than that, but boy, can he get a team to the playoffs. And they were 6-10 last year, and they even gave you quite a bit of trouble last year in both of the games that you guys faced them. Even the first one, even the week 1 game. So with that in mind, I think the Bears might sneak one on you. I think the Vikings sneak one on you. I don't think you're going to lose a game to the AFC South. Not one game. The only game I can see you guys losing to them is maybe if Indianapolis and is really rolling and they come in there and they beat you guys. But luckily for you, you really get to face the 2 tough teams, Indianapolis and Houston, in Green Bay, while you get to travel to Jacksonville in Tennessee. Now, I think Jacksonville may actually be decent, but this is week 1. This is going to be before they get themselves going. I think you're going to be able to really sneak that one and get that win. And then at Tennessee, that's a W. That's so big of a W, I can't even believe it. And I'm a Titans fan, and I can't believe how big that W is. It's so big. So the schedule is really nice. It's so nice to you. I can't even believe it. I say you lose to the Bears once. I say you lose to the Vikings once. From there, we are really going out on a limb. Best case scenario, 14-2. I think it could be that good for the Packers. I think it can be really good. Maybe even you could get to 15-1, but nah. I think there are going to be some losses. I think you're going to lose some games that we're not expecting. Maybe you choke against the New York Giants because Rodgers has a little bit of difficulty with them. Maybe you choke against the Cowboys for some stupid reason. I really wouldn't know why, but it's possible. Maybe the Falcons are better than I think they'd be, and maybe the Lions are better than I think they'd be. Worst case scenario, you go 11-5. And really, I don't see that happening. I mean, I think the schedule is too easy. Now, I'm going to be a little conservative, and I'm going to go 12-4. That is so conservative, right? I mean, I think it's a good prediction to give. Considering the fact that I still have to give wins and losses to everyone else, I'm going to go a little lower. I probably should have given you guys 13-3, to be honest. But I think some of the teams I think are going to stink will be better than I think they're going to be. So I'm going to leave some room for myself. Sorry. And I'm going to predict 12-4, but it could easily be 13-3. I'll just leave it at that. So there you go. That is my Green Bay Packers 2016 NFL season preview. What do you think about the Green Bay Packers 2016 season? Oh, and when it comes to the postseason, here's my trouble. Here's my issue. And I talked about this earlier. I think the secondary, specifically the cornerbacks, I don't love the depth. And when you're going to go up against the Carolina Panthers, and I know you're going to say the Panthers wide receivers aren't that good, but hey, I always see Philly Brown and Corey Brown, and they're the same guy. I always see these guys and Kelvin Benjamin and the idiot that used to be on the 49ers, the punt returner. You know who I'm talking about. I always see them streaking down the field. That's what I always see. People tell me the Panther wide receivers are bad. Why are they always open, streaking down the field? Because I think they're pretty good. And another team that loves doing that, the Arizona Cardinals. I always see John Brown and Jaron Brown and all these Browns streaking down the field. And if your cornerbacks, and I think at least one of them will get injured, that's what happens. I think that's going to give you some trouble, and I'm not sure you're going to be able to beat those teams in the NFC Championship or in the divisional round. So there you go. Green Bay Packers 2016 season preview. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. I have more of these preview videos coming up every single day, 7 p.m. Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, here on the Sports Fan Entertainment YouTube channel. Until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I am out. Peace.